This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Thanks for checking in live in Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is your spot. Thanks for watching on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates. We begin this hour by going out to the Progressive guest line. We'll talk some baseball here with the great Matt Vasgersian on a Friday. Hey, Matt, thanks for the time today. How are you?
Yeah, guys, good. Doing good. We're all trying to figure out what ABS means for our game, and it's been kind of fun. Last night we were on the air doing the Diamondbacks Mets game, and the guy who had the plate last night, Eric Backus, was perfect in challenges. He had not had a single call overturned. And last night he had only one overturned, but the guy's like, I don't know, he's like 9 for 10, 10 for 11 in overturned calls, which is incredible. So like we're paying attention to umpires more than ever before. And we used to do that quite a bit to begin with.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Is there any like takeaway for this with the ABS now in our world, like in the sports betting world? Have you noticed anything there?
Well, it's a fact that strikeouts and walks are up and batting average is down. Last year, the league collectively hit 245, which was really low. This year, the league is hitting 233 through about 2.5 weeks. I understand it's early, small sample size, cold weather, but you got to go back to 1908 to find a time when the league hit that low. And if you just want to go by the time of the calendar, at this stage of the season last year, the league was hitting 244. So we're down to 233 right now. Runs are at an all-time low, 4.25 a game. Walks and strikeouts per team per game are at an all-time high. Almost 9 strikeouts a game and 3 3/4 walks per game. So what that means for totals, those hooks that you used to play on strikeout markets, they might go up to full numbers. I don't know what it means in the betting world. I just know that strikeouts are up, and I think it's going to stay that way. I think this is a function of ABS.
Very good.
That sounds good.
Excellent. Yankees in a funk. 2 hits, last 55 at-bats, hitting 120 against lefties. They get Mats tonight and Heels back. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a weird one, right? I mean, big picture against lefties. You gave the batting average number there, Pauly, and it's the raw numbers even more striking. It's 10 for 82. They got 10 hits against lefties. And if you take Aaron Judge away, it's like 6 hits. I don't know. I mean, yesterday, Jeffrey Springs was good enough to have shut down any lineup. So maybe the platoon numbers against lefties are a little misleading because Springs was that good. You know, we're so reluctant to give credit to the guy that shuts down a good team, and we always just assume that the Yankees are in a funk. They are. Let's not make a mistake there. They are. But they've also run into some pretty good pitching. So I don't know. Steven Matz tonight, that game's just going to be an interesting one to watch from the sidelines.
Okay. How about a K-prop that you have your eyes on for tonight? I'll throw this at you. The Angels are striking out at a clip of 29.2%. That leads the entire league overall at this point. And now they're getting Chase Burns, who has been just absolutely dynamic to begin, and he was so good last year with the K's as well. His number is 7.5, but, I mean, bet to the moon right now, like $1.65 on the over. It opened up minus 110. What do you think of that matchup?
Wow, it's moved that much at that big a number. I mean, the only cold water I would throw on that is that if Burns stays in the game long enough. And, you watch enough baseball and you watch how a 2-strike count can end in a non-strikeout very easily in this league. 7.5 is a big number, but boy, those Angels strikeout numbers do speak pretty loudly that you just mentioned there, Mitch. And I know that their lineup tonight is more or less their regular group. Boy, that's just a big number to pay that kind of juice, I think.
Yeah. So I was looking at this Nationals-Brewers matchup, and I was looking at it from a Brewers perspective to play like 3 or 4 of their guys with the total bases because of who they're getting on the mound tonight, who they're facing overall. I landed on a couple of Nats as well based on the numbers. Abrams has been awesome. Wood getting hot. I played their props. But what are you looking at here in terms of the Brewers tonight?
Well, it begins with the starter for the Nationals because Jake Irvin he's struggled, and he does not have a very good body of work at that ballpark. He's made, and I looked into this too myself today, just because it's just one of those things that pops out when you see something like Christian Yelich 6 for 11 against a particular starter with slug. The next question is why and where. And a lot of that damage was at American Family Field. Jake he's made 3 starts there, just over 13 innings, 10 earned runs on 4 homers and 9 walks. So it's not just one guy that's gotten to him there, but Yelich he's the guy that stands out. Who else did you find in that game for the Brewers?
I was looking at Contreras. I was also looking at Terang back now there, and at a bigger number, the other guy was, I think, Frelick, because I think it was around plus 160 for 2 total bases out of him tonight.
That's interesting. Yeah, Terang coming back just means better things for the lineup, right? It just means whatever I don't know what their projected run total is tonight, but if they have their full group with Terang running as he does and the Brewers running as they do against a starter that struggled there. And by the way, it's not just at American Family Field. Irvin's had 2 rough starts to begin the season. So yeah, that all makes sense to me.
So I don't like playing team totals when the team's at home because there's a chance they're not going to get the at-bats there in the bottom of the 9th. But again, based on it being Irvin, Brewers having good numbers, back to like full health the way it appears, 4.5 is the team total, and it wasn't juiced really at all. Your thoughts there, or maybe a first 5 bet on the Brewers?
Well, that's interesting. 4.5 is interesting. I mean, I really haven't peeled back any layers on that, but if you just, look at some of the matchup numbers with the starter, I do agree with your cautionary tale there on being careful on home totals. But that feels reasonable to me. I think that feels reasonable to me. I'll give you another one. I mean, you talk about Yelich's numbers against the guy he's facing tonight. Davis Schneider against Simeon Woods Richardson. Mm-hmm. And this is a small sample size. 4 for 5, 3 homers. Ooh. He clicked him twice in the same game last year. And this is what's interesting to me. If it's a guy homering on the same pitch type against the same dude, that's one thing. But Schneider last year homered twice in the same game against Woods Richardson on his heater and on his curveball, and he got him in 2024 on changeup. So that's pretty much the guy's repertoire. And Schneider's homered against all of it in 5 plate appearances, which is staggering. This is another guy who's not had a good run at the ballpark he's pitching in tonight. 2 starts at Rogers Center, 10 earned on 5 homers in 8 innings. And Davis Schneider slugs about 100 points higher at home than he does on the road. The thing that you worry about there is that, he's in there for the match. He's not in there for a platoon advantage because it's right versus right, but he is a guy that they remove in platoon situations occasionally. So if Woods Richardson ends up going short, or if he ends up going only 5, so it's 2 at-bats, there's a chance you only get 2 at-bats out of Davis Schneider. But the homer thing speaks pretty loudly to me. And we had another one of these that happened the other day with the Angels-Braves game right before the brawl. That was unbelievable. That Jorge Soler thing. Like, Soler had incredible numbers against, I can't remember his name.
Lopez, right?
Ronaldo Lopez.
Yep.
Yeah. He was like 4 for 5 with 3. It was like 2 or 3 homers, and he clicked him again. So sometimes you just have to listen to that track record and get involved. I don't know what the number is for a homer there on the sites that you guys check, but Davis Schneider is a guy that I would circle tonight.
That's excellent.
That's so good.
So your level of concern with Seattle cannot hit, lost 5 in a row. J-Rod and Naylor don't have an extra base hit, and still it's a miracle they have this record because the pitching's been so good. And do you like the new and improved Emerson Hancock?
My level of concern there is low, if only because the division is underwhelming. I think Houston's the best team in the division, but Seattle should be right there at the end, as they always are. And let's face it, J-Rod, he doesn't wake up until the All-Star break usually. I mean, I feel like that guy needs warm weather to get going. We talk about this with him every year. And then every July and August, you look down and he's got ridiculous numbers. So, yeah, my level of concern is low around Seattle.
Okay, fair enough. By the way, a guy that you have watched, maybe, did I run this by you last time you were on the air? I forget. If I did, I apologize. A guy that you have watched pitch plenty with the Angels, Jose Soriano. I mean, off to just a blazing start. And to me, if he can limit the walks and like the occasional blow-up game where it's, 4 innings and he gives up 5 runs and it's a bad one for him, I took him 100-1 to win the Cy Young, Matt, because I think his ceiling's so high.
Ooh, that's fascinating. And I agree with you on the ceiling. I agree with you on everything you said. Last year, he had the strangest home road splits. He was not as good at home. And I think we did talk about this because for some guys, it's not necessarily the mound. It's not the dimensions. It's not the view you have of the plate. It's where a pitcher begins his assignment. Like you either start in the dugout, in the bullpen, or on the mound. And some guys don't like to start in, say, sitting on the bench or in the bullpen. They like to begin the game on the mound. Mm-hmm. I don't know what his explanation was for the home road splits, but they were dramatic. And if he can figure that out, yeah, he's got the best stuff on the staff without question. And any scout that you talk to, and we've talked to plenty on him, he's the guy that everybody wants a piece of if the Angels ever go into sell mode, but I don't believe he will be for sale at any time.
Very good. Love the analysis as always and the knowledge. Thank you, Matt. We appreciate it. Enjoy the games tonight.
I'm going to be listening for some NHL picks because that's something that I can actually get involved with, unlike the game that I work in. So I'll be listening.
Thanks, Penguins buddy. Over, buddy.
Yeah, ride that tomorrow.
You got it.
Ride that one tomorrow.
Done.
Yep.
Thanks,
boys. Thank you. You can only get in plus 380 with a home run.
Oh, is that the number? I'm still searching for it. Okay. All right.
Yep. That's a DK, though. But those are incredible numbers. 4 for 5 with 3 bombs. Man, for Schneider. And that's so bad, they got to throw Corbin tonight.
How about
so
that?
Many injuries.
How about that?
It's Corbin. Corbin night, baby.
You know, sometimes that can be a thing. Devers absolutely owns Garrett Cole. I think he has like 8 or 9 home runs off him.
Okay.
And he was still like, up until I think 2 years ago, like 4-1 to homer. I'll take that against him. We have a developing situation right now at Augusta. We'll update the numbers at the Masters coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
On it. So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
So here is your developing situation at Augusta. Rory with a birdie at 12 to move into the solo lead at 7 under, but now he is in the woods on shot number 2. This is a par 5 here at number 13, and we'll see how he can try to escape this with Patrick Reed lurking at 1 back. Jason Day through 15, he's 2 back, and he gets out of there. Isn't it amazing how many times they don't hit a tree? Like with me, if I'm in the woods like that, I'm like 80% I'm going to hit a tree, even if it's not even like close to me. At some point, it's going to go. These guys are so good with their shots. It's crazy.
Yes.
And this is Reed in a little bit of trouble on 15. Oh, this is a much more difficult position than what Rory was just in.
He's trying to go over the tree.
Yeah, he did.
Does he like it?
Oh, that's good. That looks good.
All right. Well, you mentioned a developing situation. Day's in the beach on 16. He might give a shot back. He's 5 under. The wheels have come off for Schauffele. Schauffele is now 1 over for the round and 1 under for the tournament. He's dropped to tied for 17th. It's over for Batia. He got off to a good start. He now is going to be fortunate to make the cut. He's 3 over today and on the cut line. 4 over for the tournament. So right now he'll survive. DeChambeau will survive. Watson will survive. Connors, Rahm, and Harmon.
Okay.
Hovland's 3 over. So is Sergio.
Moments ago, Sam Burns with another birdie. And he's back to 5 under right now through 17. So he's even for the day. He did give away a couple earlier today in his round. But now back to 5, 2 strokes off Rory. And he's 15-1 right now to win it. Plus 160 to go top 5 at DK. minus 164 top 10. Remember, Burns was right. I mean, he was the leader going into the final round of the U.S. Open last year. But then he fell apart that day, and Spawn survived it all.
Yeah.
So I'm not running here to any website here or app to bet on Sam Burns to win this thing, although he's obviously a very talented golfer. Any of the numbers do you pop on the screen right now? Koepka 22. He was as high as, I think, 48 yesterday when he was kind of making a charge yesterday.
Got a shot.
Live on the show.
Yep. I recommended him yesterday. He can do it.
He's T11 right now.
He's left some shots out there. And plenty of birdie opportunities for him that he's blown.
Yep. He's in the same group right now as Ben Griffin, Chris Gotterup. They're in the clubhouse right now. Shane Lowry 3 under. He's through 15. And Koepka is minus 115 to go top 10. He's plus 230 top 5. How many of these guys do you think are going to linger for the whole weekend? Like Wyndham Clark, who was a major winner?
I don't know what to do with him.
Neither do I.
He was great today. I would say Lowry, Gotterup, Hatton, Koepka, Day, Rose, and Fleetwood. I'm confident they're going to be in the mix all 4 days.
Okay, I think I'm kind of right there with you. I really like this Gotterup kid.
But, what's a level of concern that Rory could, run away and hide? That's something that's got to bother you.
Well, I mean,
this is he gave one back, but still to have a one-shot lead, and we'll see what happens right now on 13. This is scary. I was concerned a little bit earlier today when he opened up took that lead, but then Pat Reed's been great to get even before the last birdie. But that's got to be a concern that he could run away and hide here.
That was a terrific shot right now on 15 by Fairway Jesus Fleetwood. I want to say he's within like 10 feet here, and as a result of that shot, he just moved to plus 720 at DraftKings to win it. He is now third on the board behind McIlroy and Reed, and if he sinks this one, well, he's at 4 under right now. I'll say that. And so he's in a good spot to gain a stroke, and that would move him within a couple here.
Good rally by Fitzpatrick. Back-to-back birdies. He's even.
Okay.
2 under for the day, and he is tied for 24th.
Oh, look at that shot. Jason Day from the beach.
Oh, wow.
What a beautiful shot.
Out of there
He's within 6 inches the way it looks.
It's out of there with par. All right.
Maybe closer.
Well played. Well played.
Does Ben Griffin hang around, who was so good last year?
I don't know. That's a tough call.
Trying to look down the board a little bit more. I'm surprised by the round by Schauffele for sure. Hideki is 1 under today and for the tournament. He's through 13. And look at Colin Morikawa. He is going to go into my wallet big time this week.
Alligator blood.
-3 for the day.
Wow.
That is absolutely no good.
Good night's sleep maybe too.
Yeah.
The back. Oh, no. What? Oh, man.
What
1
now?
under. He's 1 under now.
Yeah.
Tied for 17.
Yep. 3 under for the day.
Oh, he was supposed to implode. Oh, the back. He was hardly.
That feels like a.
Sit, Pat. Sit.
Boy, oh boy. Put the brakes on.
Oh, thank God. No. Stop. All right,
okay, there you go.
But this is crazy. And Morikawa couldn't hit the ball far at all, and the back was giving him problems in the minute-by-minute reports on Wednesday.
No,
he gets off to a bad start. Oh, no.
I got duped by the reports.
Well, they were legitimate. It's just,
I know. It feels like
sometimes probably shot him up. He's probably feeling good. It's on the good stuff. So, and it's also the Humans pep talk, which was great. It was inspirational. I was moved by it. That's in the water.
Oh, Cam Young just
got.
How did that not go in the water at 13?
Oh, God.
He gets a massive break, and now he's on the edge of the green. Big for him. Yeah, but it feels like, hey, guys, I'm telling you right now, this is what's going to happen in the NFL draft at pick number 5. I got the information. You can trust me on this. We're all good to go.
You can't be upset. You can't second
No, I'm
guess
not.
yourself.
I'm not at all.
He still can implode.
Yeah, that can happen, but he's going to make the cut, so that's a bad result. But I
think the back's going to bother him and continue to act up. It shouldn't. At some point, it's got to play a factor. He's going to be out there for 4 days.
Well, not today. He got better today.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, another guy that is putting together a solid round today, it's Russell Henley. Same spot as Colin Morikawa. 2 under for the day, 1 under for the tournament. He's through 13. Also T17 as we speak. That's another. I think Cam Young is going to make a push here. Cam Young is currently plus 106 to go top 10. He was plus 240 at FanDuel last night to go top 10. Guy that we talked about last hour of the show yesterday. There's plenty of golf yet today. We're on the air for another hour and 40 minutes. This thing's not going to be done by then. I think we're going to have some stragglers here, some key guys near the top of the leaderboard on this bad boy. But the question is, where do Reed and McIlroy end at the end of the day?
Uh-oh.
No, that's a replay.
Oh, come on.
It's a replay.
It is?
Yeah, careful. It's a different shirt. Yep.
That was roaring the beat.
He's got the light shirt on today.
So the one thing here, and it was a great breakdown by
Kidding.
By Vasgersian. The Angels with the highest K rate, but it's priced in with Burns.
Yeah, it is big time.
Now, he is plus money to get 9. Question is, how long is he out there? The other thing is a little fishy line because they look too easy today. Kahanowitz on the road, last 13 starts for the Angels, 1-7 with an ERA of 8.
Ooh.
Come on. You got a team that's Trout is 2 for his last 29. Highest K rate in baseball. The guy they're throwing out there on the road's been horrendous on the road going back. And you're going against Burns. But all these obvious plays and good spots have been losing the last week. But the Reds should win tonight, and they're plus $1.30 on the run line.
Well, the thing with Burns is he blows away the competition. It's the swinging strike rate from the opposing team. They swing a lot. They can't touch him because he's so good with how fast he pitches, but also like the location overall. His 2 starts so far against Pittsburgh, 1 hit, 7 Ks, 78 pitches, did walk 3 there. And then the next time out against Texas, he went 6 innings overall, 87 pitches, 9 Ks. So he has not touched 90 pitches yet this year in a game. But if you told me right now he's going to be around that number, 90, with him so far getting 7 and 8, I would, against this lineup, I would have to lay the juice and bet over 7.5.
Ohtani home run props?
Oh, Fleetwood with an eagle.
Oh, boy. 6 under. Eat. That is something. Job.
Tommy
What did he
Fleetwood,
move to?
Let's see.
What
Plus
did he move to
570 now.
Yeah? Okay, thanks. I was going to say Ohtani props.
Yep.
It's Ohtani bobblehead all night. And his on-base streak is now 43 in a row. Glass now goes 4-0. Last 9 starts with a 2.34. Last 4 against Texas. 3-0 with a 0.38 ERA. And they're not hitting anyways.
Wow.
So he is 220 against Texas tonight at home. And it would probably fireworks with Ohtani. Seems like he goes crazy every bobblehead ball night, too.
Pretty good numbers.
Yes.
Laurie with the birdie on 16. He goes to 4 under.
All right. Right now on vsin.com, completely free. No subscription needed. You can access MLB and NBA prop projections powered by Opt.AI plus real-time betting splits from DK and Circa. Pro-level tools, 0 cost, only for a limited time. Head to vsin.com. Start using them today. vsin.com.
Chad Andrus on the program next. Host 104.3 The Fan in Denver, in town for the Frozen Four. We'll talk some NBA, though. How far does he have the Nuggets going in the playoffs this year? We'll ask him coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We have a lot to get into here. Chad Andrus joins the program now, 104.3 The Fan in Denver. He is in town for the Frozen Four. Yesterday was a hell of a day for that event out here in Las Vegas. We'll get into that coming up. We'll talk Avalanche, NHL. We'll get into the Masters. He's been there before. He bets golf. And the Denver Nuggets as well. How are you, man? Good to see you.
I'm doing fantastic. It's great to finally be here, right? Like, I've been with you guys since the start, well before the start of VSiN and on your shows forever, but never in the studio. So it's always been on the phone. It's been on Zoom or whatever. So it's fun to be here.
Well, I'd like to thank you, too. You were the guy who got me started when I moved to town in 2000 on Red Bull vodkas. So thanks a lot going to Casino Royale.
I'm also the guy that sent you back to Vegas. There was a brief detour where Denver was a consideration.
Yeah.
You came and saw me. You're like, no, I ain't doing that.
No,
so
I don't know
it's a good thing we sent you back.
You get some wild swings with the weather. It's 70 and then it snows.
It's perfect.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to live anywhere else in the U.S. It's
Is
ideal.
that right? Great city?
Fantastic.
I've only been through it. I don't know.
It's got everything you need from a big city without being enormous and huge.
Okay.
It's a little crowded, but weather is outstanding. Only place that has more sunshine is San Diego. You're between 50 and 75 almost every day. It's perfect.
So how does this play out with Denver tonight? Oklahoma City sitting everybody. They still have to get one more win to basically lock down the 3 seed. They have the Spurs looming on Sunday. I mean, is there a bet to make as a result of this? Or 11.5-point favorite tonight?
No, just stay away and stay away from this team betting in general, at least until the playoffs start and you get an idea with Aaron Gordon and Peyton Watson. It was funny because my buddy does a big podcast with Tim Legler, and I poked fun at him last week because I said, the Nuggets are going to get to the end of the season, and they're going to have Oklahoma City punting to get them out of their bracket, turned around by San Antonio going all out to get them out of their bracket. And he goes, LOL, no chance, on a text. And then he sent the same message last night on Twitter. But, that's the situation they're in.
Do you think they do that? Will the Spurs?
I don't think the Spurs will. Okay. I don't think the Spurs are going to exert that effort, especially when you had Wemby with a little bit of a scare. I was at that game last week. Phenomenal.
Insane.
Incredible. But the second Jonas Valanciunas got in the game and got a little taste of Wemby and then pushed back a little bit, immediately Mitch Johnson, Wemby out. Nope, we're not leaving you in there while that guy's in there.
Really?
We'll put you back in later. So I don't think the Spurs are going to mess around with that.
I would, yeah. It's interesting because it's a big opportunity to knock them out, and I don't see them unless it be the conference finals. Plus, I'm going against, like you said during the break, Wilt Chamberlain. We take this guy if he has 27, 12, and 11, it's considered a bad game.
Yeah, right.
What Joker does.
There is, I think, an argument to be made primarily because of Aaron Gordon's health and how they are such a different team with him and without him. Maybe it's better for them if they play Oklahoma City in the second round. You got a better chance of him being there and being available.
Interesting.
Everybody says, wait, go as long as you can, get to the Western Conference Finals, let it play out. I don't know. There's very little confidence from most people in Denver that Aaron Gordon is going to hold up.
Really?
And if he doesn't hold up, they're done. Doesn't matter who they're playing.
They will not beat the Timberwolves if the Timberwolves are healthy.
Right.
For that series. And by the way, Minnesota will be tricky for them anyway if that's the 3-6. Minnesota does a great job against that team.
They dominated for a good 2-year stretch. It's flipped a little bit. And I don't know if you remember what happened on Christmas, but you talk about Jokic's game against Wemby last week and how people were reminded. Look up Jokic's career against Rudy Gobert and how many Defensive Player of the Year award that guy's won. And Jokic just wears him out.
Hold on. This happened twice this year, right? Where both teams blew a huge lead in overtime? Wasn't that this year?
Well, there was the one in last year where Jokic had the 30-20-20 game, and Westbrook fouled at the end and lost it in overtime. That one was last year. The Nuggets have done pretty well against Minnesota this year. I would like their chances in a series against the Wolves. I would go Rockets as first preference, and this is assuming a decent level of health for the Lakers, right? If you think Luka and Reeves are playing, then I would probably go Wolves, then Lakers. If the Lakers are banged up, obviously, you put them to the top of the list.
What's your level of concern with the defense, even when Gordon's there? They gave up 72 in the first half to Memphis.
Yeah, and it's bad. I have very little confidence in their defense. I will say, just, devil's advocate, not homer, not apologist a little bit. Some of that they have to do by design. So Aaron Gordon can play the whole fourth quarter and have fouls available to him to play the way he's capable of playing. So they can't do some things through the first half that they would normally do defensively. Maybe they do that a little bit more in the playoffs. And if Peyton Watson is available, it changes everything. Spencer Jones as well. But they do kind of say, just play the game even to the fourth quarter. And if AG is available under a minute's restriction and has fouls to give, then we can take it over and we can win because he can do the things he can do defensively.
If they get the Spurs in the second round, does that entire series play out basically like that game did last weekend?
Yeah.
That's what
100%.
I think. They can't make the totals high enough is what I'm thinking here.
No. And the interesting thing about that is Nuggets scored 136. Jamal Murray was a no-show. Stephon Castle completely kept the ball out of his hands. So they did that without Murray scoring. So what happens if Jamal Murray gets loose, right? Or what happens if the Spurs actually knock down open threes, which they didn't do in that game?
Wide open, yeah.
Right.
I thought they gave that game away, and several shot clock violations as well. So can you expand on how we take this guy for granted, and no one has ever led the league in rebounds and assists, and he's going to do this, and he's not even in the MVP discussion?
It's criminal. It's absolutely criminal. And when you watch him every night, and guys, we're all about the same age, but my brother here is in town this week as well. My brother is a lot older than me. He had season tickets in the NBA and Dallas Mavericks since I was 6 years old. So I saw Dr. J and Larry Bird and Kareem and Magic and Jordan and everybody in person my whole life, and I've covered the NBA since I was 19 years old. No one controls the game and what happens in the pace of the game and the flow of the game on each end of the floor like Nikola Jokic does. He dictates everything that happens for both teams on the floor. And the common term is voter fatigue when we talk about MVP. I think we're being way too kind. I think it's active gatekeeping. There are people that don't like the fact that he's not American, that he doesn't engage with, vibrant English interviews. He blows things off. It's very casual for him. And obviously the athleticism part, he's not dunking and running and jumping, right? There is an active, I think, element from voters' minds to say, well, if we give him a fourth MVP, what stratosphere does that put him in? What does that mean for the history of the league? And are we willing to do that if he's only going to win one title?
But it's ridiculous, and that's what they did the year they gave it to Embiid. It was so stupid and unnecessary.
You're preaching to the choir here again. I'm a Denver guy. He should have 6 in a row.
Wow.
I mean, he's the best player, and it's not close.
Well, hold on. Wemby's right there now.
Wemby's getting there. I'm still not in love with Wemby offensively and what he chooses to do based on what I think he can do and what he will develop into doing. I think there is a lot of projection of what he will be, and we're kind of assuming it's already there. There's still work to do on the offensive end.
Well, imagine when he reaches that potential, though.
But if he's not there yet, you got to be fair about what's currently happening.
Could they? How do you think a 7-game series would go against Oklahoma City?
It's going to be really tough for Denver to win that. And again, Oklahoma City, I also think is incredibly underrated with how much everyone leans into what Shea brings. And Shea's great, and he's had an amazing 2-year run here. I think what Tim Legler said, what Bill Simmons said, you replace him with Pods or anybody else, I think the Thunder are still a Western Conference Finals team. That roster is insane with the number of shot makers they have, because it doesn't matter who you push the ball to. It doesn't matter if you're sending it to Wiggins or if you're making Wallace shoot or Joe shoot or anybody else, and you're getting the ball out of Shea's hands, they all make them. And it's impossible to guard that team.
I think he's better than that.
I think he's amazing, but I think the rest of the team, particularly the way they defend or the way they are allowed to defend, could still be a Western Conference Finals team regardless of who you replaced him with.
I think if the Clippers never made that stupid trade for Paul George, the Clippers would be a threat in the West every single year. That's how good SGA is.
I think any team that would have him would be.
How important is the whistle going to be? That's got to be the biggest thing.
Unbelievably. Yeah. Because if you're talking about Wemby, Jokic can get him in foul trouble anytime he wants. He can do that to anybody. He does it to Gobert. He can do it to whoever they play.
That can happen, and SGA can go to the line for it.
SGA is the other part of that. Is this is the game that we signed up for now. The NBA will not legislate anything against offense. So you're free to do whatever you want with your offhand. You're free to initiate contact with your shoulder and then knock somebody off balance, and you're the one that's always going to get the call. That's just the way it is. Offense is always going to rule in the NBA, so there's no sense in crying about it. You got to find guys that are going to be able to leverage it. I mean, James Harden has the MVPs. Shea has the MVPs. It's what you got, Luka.
Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Chad Andrus, 104.3 The Fan in Denver, in town for the Frozen Four. We'll touch on the championship game of that tomorrow. Also, the Avalanche clinched the President's Trophy last night. Does that make them fade material tomorrow when they take on the Knights? Coming up here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Back-to-back birdies for Cameron Young on the back nine. He now moves to 3 under.
Back-to-back.
I'm sorry, back-to-back-to-back. Yeah, 3 in a row.
Yeah.
So 3 under now for Cam Young, hanging around alligator blood going into the weekend as we continue here with Chad Andrus in town for the Frozen Four, 104.3 The Fan in Denver. That team is going to be playing Wisconsin tomorrow for the national title. Before we get into that, you love golf. You've been to the Open Championship before. You've been to the Masters. You have a great-looking Masters fleece on right now. What did you spend at the gift shop when you were there?
I went 2 years in a row, and it wasn't crazy. It was probably $400 to $500 each time. But
Okay.
I have a brother who's been probably 6 or 7 times. So every time he goes, I leverage, getting something back. So Masters week every year is easy for me. I just outline different shirt, different pullover for every day of the week.
Okay. How does that compare to other sports? You've done it you've been everywhere, seen a lot of things here, sporting-wise.
Best.
It's the best?
Easily.
Really?
Yeah, unquestionably. Everything you've ever heard about it is true times 10.
Oh, okay. That's
Why?
pretty strong.
Why?
When you wait in line, I know you two would, the patience, right? All of us at our age, right? You don't wait in line. So you may be in a line, but it always moves. You never stop and stand still.
Really?
Yeah, bathroom, concession, whatever. It's always moving. The first time I went into a restroom at Augusta National, I looked up and I go, what are all these people doing in here? There were attendants cleaning the stalls after everybody went.
Every single person?
Every single one.
Okay.
Like everything you've ever heard, it's that times 10, and the television broadcast doesn't do it justice with how up and down and how hilly it is.
That's what I've heard.
Very, very difficult, when you look at what you have to do to play golf. The second year I went, and I know we want to hurry, but a buddy that used to live here in Vegas, Paul knows him, friend of a friend of his was with me at a practice round, and that guy knew Ian Woosnam. So he let us follow while he was taking his practice rounds, and he would drop 2 or 3 balls, and he would just tell us why he's going to hit it here and what it's going to do, and we were just watching. It was incredible. Like, it was the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen, because he's trying to do different things and put it in different spots based on where the pin placements are, but he would tell you, if I land it here, watch where it's going to roll.
That's fine.
That's pretty good right there. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Who are you on, by the way?
I am on Patrick Reed, and I am on Justin Rose. There is a little bit on Cam Young, so I did like those 3 birdies in a row. It's various top 20s, top 10s, and a couple outrights.
Denver and Wisconsin for all the marbles Saturday. Frozen Four. Take us through what has happened since Denver made a goaltending change.
Unbelievable. This kid is now, Johnny Hicks, 15-0-1. And last night against Michigan was the 3rd time in that stretch that they had given up 3 goals. Everything else was 2 or fewer. Ooh. He took over in January after Quentin Miller got hurt. Miller was back-to-back NCHC goalie of the month and was on the Richter Award list. Oh. And this guy is his replacement after he gets injured.
You're kidding.
Johnny Hicks was playing in the BCHL and committed the first recruiting class ever to Tennessee State's new hockey program. They pushed back the launch of the program a year. So instead of going and starting, they didn't play. So he goes, I'm transferring to Denver, and winds up here as the backup. And now he's in the national championship game undefeated.
So they're the rightful favorite then against Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Total's 5.5. Any thoughts there?
I don't know how the Badgers are going to score on this guy after watching, them several times this year. You and I are both from Wisconsin.
Right.
And then watching them yesterday in a game against North Dakota. Unless this kid is just completely worn out from last night's game and the stretch run, I don't know how you get it past this kid.
Wisconsin team total under?
What is it?
Probably 2.5.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
He's played 16 games. They've given up three times.
Okay.
Yeah. Does he have a future? Is it that, or is it credit to the defense?
No, it's 100% him. He had 49 saves last night. After the first period, Michigan outshot them, I think, 48-13 or 46-13.
I noticed
I would say he's got a pro career then.
Yeah, he's definitely turning heads. Like, if he wasn't on the radar before, he has to be now.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right, who's beating the Avalanche in the West?
Nobody. If they're healthy, nobody. And, the Avalanche, there's been questions about them. There have been questions about, toughness grit. Are they just too, all flash, all offense? Right. they've only had one situation with a healthy Gabe Landeskog, Nazem Kadri, and available Val Nichushkin in the playoffs. When they did, they won the Stanley Cup. Those three guys play with McKinnon and Makar. They're winning the Stanley Cup.
Level of concern with the goaltending overall?
None. Nope. The Lumberyard, Wedgwood, Blackwood. It's Scott Wedgwood. Wedgwood will be the number one. If he gets shaky and Blackwood has to come in, then you might find some value in betting underdogs if they, start to get uncertain there. But if it's Scott Wedgwood, no concern.
All right, team to give him the biggest problem would be Dallas? Yes,
that's the bugaboo, 100%. But if the Stars are coming off a 6 or 7 game series with the Wild, the Avalanche, as much as there is a bit of a head game and a subconscious, uncertainty with Dallas, they dominated 2 out of every 3 periods in that 7 game series last year. Shots on goal, attempts, quality chances, and they didn't win the games.
Yeah.
So they were the better team. They didn't win. And I know people in Dallas don't want to hear that. Look, I grew up in Dallas. I understand it. I was there when the Stars won the Cup, covering that team. I get it. The Avalanche were the better team, and they didn't win the series last year.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Can you and do you talk Broncos every single day?
100%. Absolutely.
Forget about now because we're close to the draft. You could do it.
No question.
March
Not
3rd.
only every single day, it is, minimum 50% of every show every single day.
Is that right?
100%.
Even when if the Avalanche and the Nuggets are in the conference finals?
Yep.
You got to do 50% Broncos every day.
It might not be 50 if they're both in the conference finals or finals, but it'll be at 30.
Roster construction, make a move, doesn't matter. People eat it up.
Yep.
They're that popular.
Yep. Absolutely, 100%.
And it's been that way for a long time.
All the time.
Were you there with Tebow Mania?
I quit this business briefly because of that. I had to go into work every day and find a way to talk about this guy that couldn't play, but everyone was in love with. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm out. I stopped doing talk shows for a couple years.
Was that the damnedest thing?
It was insane.
People thought he was better than Aaron Rodgers.
Well,
there were some people, and I know there was divine intervention and religion played into it as well. But it's like, how are they winning games when he's completing 3 passes a game?
Absolute madness. Absolute madness.
I imagine why you lost your mind.
I was doing it every single day.
Were you the one?
3 hours a day.
Were you the one who told me that even after Peyton Manning went there and they won the Super Bowl, people were still like, it was not 50-50, but there were a big section of people there were like, I still like Tebow.
Yeah, of course. There are people, you will still see the jerseys at the games.
All right. Well, last year was the year to bet on them. It was 9.5.
Yes.
They were a huge price to win that division. They did all that. What do you make of them this year? Can they do that 2 years in a row?
They're not going to go 14-3. No. I mean, not when you have a first place schedule and you have the NFC West on the schedule.
Right.
Yeah. I think there's a real good chance that they could be better, but the record's not going to match that. So, I mean, can they get to 11? Can they get to 12 wins? Maybe. The most interesting thing is going to be with Davis Webb calling the plays and not Sean Payton. First time in Sean Payton's career, he's not calling plays. So what does that look like with Bo Nix? What does that look like with Jalen Waddle? Because the one thing the Broncos didn't do is they do not use the middle of the field. And that's where Jalen Waddle is the best. So is the new play caller going to change that?
It's a very good division, and the Raiders are going to be better.
Schedule.
I think this is the year for the Chargers, by the way.
I thought it was last year, and then the injuries were out of control. I think there's a lot to like there. And when's Mahomes going to play?
I know. People are saying week 1. Come on, that seems like a reach to me. Does your wife still work for HBO?
No.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
Yeah,
Putting you on the spot.
that was a bad beat. She does her own thing, a little different now, but no, that was a good run.
Okay, I wanted to ask you the best show that you've watched lately.
Oh, lately, Shrinking.
We closed it last night. They're gonna have a season 4, by the way.
I was kind of towards the end. I was like, are they wrapping this up? Are they cutting it the way it was trending? But
I was thinking, I was having the conversation with Lorraine. I'm like, well, this is clearly done after this year. And then I saw yesterday, no, they're going to come back for season 4.
Good.
Have you watched The Boys?
No.
Okay. All right.
Amazon I had a buddy that was trying to get me into that. I'd never made the time.
Too many shows.
Yeah, there are way too many. I'm like 9 behind.
That's the way. I know.
All right. So Wisconsin team total under tomorrow, 2.5 is the play.
The kids played 16, 17 games. The opponent scored 3 in 3 of them.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the game last night, double overtime, and it was so lopsided with the shots on goal. I'm like, how is Denver in this game? How do they have a chance to win here in double overtime?
Johnny Hicks.
Because of him, because of Johnny Hicks. All right. 2
freshman goaltenders, national championship.
How about that? You can follow Chad on X. He's at Chad Andrus, ANDRUS, 1043 The Fan in Denver. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you guys.
That. Great spot. Masters up next. Looking at the weekend, Jeff Sherman on the program from the Westgate Superbook here on VSiN.